Daria, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
So nice to see you.
I'm also glad to see everyone and you, Karen.
Thank you. Thank you. So Daria is logging in with us from Russia, and one of our early presenters, because as I saw that people from around the world were joining, I said, well, let's hear from people because it's such a great way for us to understand that we're all sort of dealing with something similar, even from our very different locations and all the other differences. There's a lot we have in common. And that started such a great association with Daria. So it's so nice to see you. And please check in. How are things going?
Can I share my presentation, Karen?
Yeah.
Okay, just a second. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's the end, I think. Okay, can you see that?
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay, great. So, hello everyone once again. My name is Daria and I'm from Russia, Moscow. Here it is 8 p.m. in the evening. Thank you, Karen, for inviting me once again to say a few words about the situation with Gestalt therapy here, Gestalt therapy with children here in Moscow. As far as I remember, the last time it was almost 1.5 years ago when I presented, a long time actually. So I'm a Gestalt therapist and I work with children, adults and families. And now I will start. So here is some COVID-19 data about this years. So we had schools had online lessons for 10 weeks and they periodically closed during autumn and winter. And university students had almost 1 year online, and now schools and I can hear myself. What's happening? I'm sorry. And now schools and universities, almost all universities, they work offline. Children must not wear masks and keep social distance at schools here in Moscow. And one of the potential threats is that more and more children starting to have severe forms of COVID-19. So just two pictures to show how it was last year on the 1st of September. It's the official start of school day here in Moscow and in Russia. So the upper picture is how it was in 2020 and the lower is how it's today, this 1st of September. There are some trends which we as child therapists see among our clients. So children adapted to spatial constraints, and as a result, they behave more quietly. They can sit more quietly in a car, for example, or by computer, and they are more comfortable for their parents. Children became more relaxed about school because, for example, they can lie down on the sofa and listen to their teacher or even turn off the camera, which happens. They better fulfill tasks and requirements, and they have less strain. But on the other hand, children have less initiative, hope and perspective for the future, and they behave subdepressively. And even when space increases, they don't have to sit at homes right now. It seems that they don't need anything, and they became less expressive. So each year, the Moscow Gestalt Institute, to which I belong, has a 1-week Gestalt intensive for children and families. And this year, it was called Joy Rehabilitation. And we made some observations based on this intensive. So children had restrictions in space and in contacts. And as a result, the feeling of joy and of happiness, it became quite seldom. So what can we do to bring back this joyful feelings? So children need to have enough space. They need to have some possibility to achieve someone or something, and they need the possibility to share their emotions about this achievement. Some other observations which we made based on this intensive. So children have less desire to reach for the other person. They say something like, why should I make friends with anyone here at the intensive if we are going to leave in a week? That's different from what we saw in previous years. Children have more hypochondriac fears and anxiety. They always ask, should I wash this? What should I do? For how long should I do this? Isn't it dangerous? They have higher needs for parents' understanding and protection, and they have less hope that parents can cope, because parents are anxious themselves, and so children feel more isolated than they used to. And there are more bedtime fears. Many children nowadays are falling asleep with TikTok. So the world is quite a chaos for them, but in TikTok, it's very simple. So it's, like self-calming instead of being calmed by parents. So there are two trends which we derived from these observations. One trend looks more like depressive athenic. What we saw at the intensive is when children start reaching for something or someone, at some moment they stop doing this, as if they don't have enough energy to do this and to finally reach and grasp onto something. And another trend that we saw is looks more like chaotically disorganized, is when children have nowhere to put themselves, and they start doing things like sitting at home and then at one moment throwing bottles out of the window, or like starting throwing stones into the windows. And when they were asked why you do this, and they said, just we had bottles and we had windows, and that's why we did this. So what can we do here as child therapists? We think that the main strategy here is a cooperation and reaching for the child and meeting him halfway. This means any joint activities, modeling, drawing, or playing, any activities where the therapist and the child can move towards each other. For example, be building the road so that they can meet halfway. Some bodily exercises. You can reach out with your hands and meet each other. Or for example, you can let the child to put the hand on your hand and lean on it so that the child can feel some support. And all exercises which arouse interest and maintain interest. Like secrets, riddles, wishes, or any other. For example, the therapist can take some picture and close half of the picture and just ask the child, what do you think is there? And listen to what the child says. And then the therapist can show the picture and they can discuss about this exercise. All these exercises, we need all of them so that children can believe again that when they reach for something or someone, there is still much interest, and that they can really do this, that it's possible to do. So that's the end of my short presentation about what is happening here and some of our observations. And thank you very much and take care.
Thank you, Daria. I love the spirit of your interventions, which is to reach out, that's sort of it. Kids have been so isolated, so to reach out, and our job is to reach out and grab them and literally, use our hands and that touch. That's beautiful. So
Thank you.
thank you very much for that. So helpful.